Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing today? Hey, this is Gregory Wiles coming live to you from Houston, Texas with this inspirational morning talk. For first time listeners, I'm on at 8:45 a.m. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8:45 a.m. Central Time. I hope everyone had a great weekend. Hope everyone had a great weekend. I know I did have a great weekend. All just high school basketball in a lot of gyms. Just high school basketball. Son had to play a tournament there, so it's all good. So yes, man. But we have continuing a great spring here in Houston. I hope you guys enjoying the weather wherever you are and had a great weekend. But today, man, I just want to follow up on some of the things that we talked about last week. Some of the things we talked about last week. Pamela Jefferson, good morning. Good morning. How are you doing this morning? Yeah, some of the things we talked about last week. We look at in the numbers there with this Balak and Balaam story, and we did it from we did a different couple of different parts of it. But the first one we focus on the protection what God gave the Israelites when Balak summons Balaam to come and curse the people of Israel. They didn't even know what was going on, but because they was living right, the curses couldn't hit them. Beverly Gomes, good morning, right? That's the first part we look at, that once you're following God's word, he can protect you. You don't even need to know what's going on and what it was cooking up. That's the first part we look at. He protected them. Then the second part we look at when they broke the laws, how disaster come upon them. How the broke law disaster come upon them. And then the third part we look at on Friday, at the same story is when Balak got the when Balak sent for Balaam when he was going. God knows his heart. Balaam was a wicked prophet, not a false one, but a wicked one. While we focus on the journey while he was going, and when the talking donkey, when the angel was in front of the donkey, stopping him from moving forward, Balaam couldn't see it, but the donkey could have, and then God opened his eyes to see what the donkey was, why the donkey was turning to the left, turning to the right, and he was whooping the donkey that saved his own life, right? So just spiritually. So the whole goal here, guys, what I want to get to, and I think this is the ministry God put on my heart to do, is to let open people's eyes that there's a real world, a spiritual world, and things finish happening in that world before it happened in this physical world here. It got to be conceived there. That's the parent world. And then, right, we talk about a God. What is God? You can touch and feel this God. Well, he exists in the spirit. We talk about the devil, and the devil is real, and this and that. He's not in this physical world, right? So I just want people to understand that, and we can go through next story here. We talk about it. I talked about it a while back, but it's a good time to revisit it. But these scriptures here, 2 Corinthians 4:18, what Paul was saying. So we fix our eyes on not what is seen, but what is unseen. Since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. Paul's trying to get us to understand, guys. And the next one, Ephesians 6:12, our struggles is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against authorities, against the powers of this dark world, against spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Paul's just trying to get us, guys. Unseen world is everything happening, right? It's unseen world is where everything happening. And we got to recognize that, and we got to act accordingly. So let's look at Ezekiel 8 and 9. Ezekiel 8 and 9. I really want to focus on Ezekiel 9 with this spiritual protection again. This is just like the Balak and Balaam story. These people don't know what's going on, but God doing his thing for the ones who was with him and against, all in the spiritual realm, and then it's going to automatically happen in this physical realm. Right? So let's look at Ezekiel 8 and 9. This is idolatry in the temple. Ezekiel 8. I can read through 8 quickly and then really don't focus on 9. We could go back and focus on 8 on another day. Right? But 9 is what I want to point out with this protection that we all should seek for. Right? So let's look at Ezekiel 8. In the 6th year, in the month of in the 6th month, on the 5th day, while I was sitting in my house, and the elders of Judah were sitting before me, the hand of the sovereign Lord came on me there. I looked, and I saw a figure like of a man, from what appears to be his waist down, he was He was like fire, and from there up his appearance was bright as glowing metal. But again, let me go back here. In the sixth day, right, Ezekiel sitting in his house, in a house, and the elders of Judah was there before me. I saw all the big one in the churches, the rabbis, and all the priests and everything. The elders was there, right? In Laverne Island, good morning, good morning. So the elders of Judah, he's sitting in his house. The elders of Judah, all the big ones in the churches and all of that was there in his house, wherever they're celebrating, wherever they're meeting for, we don't know, but they were there. He's sitting in his house and he said he were there. All of them was there. Then you see this man from his waist down coming, right? He reached out what looked like a hand and took me by the hair of my head. The Spirit lifted me up between the heaven and the earth, and in visions of God, he took me to Jerusalem, to the entrance of the north gate in the inner court. So what's going on here? Said this thing. He's sitting down in a vision. He see this hand come, this man, check, hold him by his hair, but extract his spirit from his body. You talk about teleporting. So when he take him, he's still physical body, still sitting in wherever chair he's sitting in front of the elders. They're doing what they're doing. But this spirit come and take his spirit, grab him by the hair, he said, and in a vision, take him into the spiritual world and give him a peek and show him what's going on. All these people who are sitting in your house, who's the big priests and the big rabbis, who's supposed to be doing my work and leading the people towards me. Ezekiel, I want to show you what these people doing. I want to show you what these people are doing, right? So he take Ezekiel out and he carried him to the entrance of the courts, right? Where the idol that provokes the jealousy stood. And there before me was the glory of the God of Israel. In the vision, I had seen the plain. So he's still in this vision. Then he said to me, Son of man, look towards the north. So I looked, and in the entrance north of the gate of the altar, I saw the idol of jealousy. So he take him into the churches and showing him what these pastors, what these rabbis, what these preachers doing in his house, in the church, right? Then he said to me, Son of man, look towards the north. So I looked, and in the entrance north of the gate of the altar, I saw the idol that provoked the jealousy. And he said to me, Son of man, do you see what they are doing? The utterly detestable things the Israelites are doing here, things that will drive me far from my sanctuary. But you will see things that are even more detestable, right? Then he brought me to the entrance to the court. I looked and I saw a hole in the wall. A hole in the wall. He said to me, Son of man, now dig into the wall. So I dug into the wall and saw a doorway there. And he said to me, go in and see the wicked and detestable things they are doing. So you see this hole in the wall, right? This is a hole. This is the actual church in maybe some room, and this hole in the wall. And he said, behind there is a secret compartment, Ezekiel. This looked like a wall to you and it's finished here. But behind there, they're doing a lot of wickedness. You go on behind the wall, go through the hole, go in there and see what these people are doing in my church. Right? And he said to me, go in and see the wicked and detestable things they are doing here. So I went in and looked, and I saw portrayed all over the wall all kinds of crawling things and unclean animals and all the idols of Israel. In front of them stood 7 elders of Israel, and Zephaniah, son of Sharphan, was standing among them. Each had a censer in his hands, and a fragrant cloud of incense was raising. So they're behind this wall, and they got their own gods behind there. And they're supposed to be coming in right in another room. They're telling you about God. And then they're gone. And the watchman of the gods. Obia, iniquity, voodoo, all you want to call it. That's what the watchman of the gods mean. Right in the same church. So they're trying to serve 2 gods, and God said it don't work, right? He said to me, Son of man, have you seen what the elders of Israel, these same elders, were in Ezekiel's house right now? He's showing them spiritually what these people are doing, all right? Have you seen what the elders are doing in the darkness? In the darkness. So you see, when certain things happening, guys, we just blame God. God, how could you allow this to happen? Like I was telling you in this Balak Balaam story. God know our heart. He don't look, you could fool man, but he know what's going on in the darkness. when you away from everybody, what you doing in the privacy of your own home, what your heart is really set. You can say God, 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 God out your mouth. That's what the scripture said. Not everybody just saying God, God going to heaven, because he knows what's actually in your heart, right? So he telling Ezekiel, son of man, have you seen what their elders of Israel are doing in the darkness? Each at their shrine of his own idol. The shrine is like the altar of the idol. Each at the shrine of his own idol. They say, the Lord does not see us. God is seeing us, right? We hiding from man. They think man is God. God is seeing us. The Lord has forsaken the land. Again, he said, you will see them doing things that are even more detestable. He said, that's not it only, Ezekiel. They're doing worse than that, right? I'm going to go through all of them, go through one more paragraph. Then he brought me to the entrance of the north gate of the house of the Lord, and I saw women sitting there mourning the god of Tammuz. Tammuz thinks the god of fertility. Right? He said to me, do you see this, son of man? You will see things that are even more detestable than this. He said, man, they're doing more wickedness. I'm going to go on because this is not what I want to stress into, but I want to set the stage for 9. But he took Ezekiel out of his body, the spirit, take him into the spirit world, showing him what's going on in the church, what these elders are doing, right? What these elders are doing. So, and he telling there's more stuff that they're doing. Another day we can go back and focus on this, on Ezekiel 8, right? But I want to go to 9, because I want us to get this message in 9 here, but it's unseen world, how things are really there, how things happened there before it happened here. So Ezekiel 9, he is fulfilling Amos 3:7. God is fulfilling Amos 3:7. He's saying, surely the sovereign Lord does nothing without revealing his plan to his servants, the prophets. So he's saying, Ezekiel, I'm going to bring some judgment on these people for what they're doing here. That's the reason why I show you what they're doing. But I'm going to show you, I'm bringing judgment on them. And he's showing Ezekiel what's going to happen. He's showing Ezekiel what is going to happen here in 9. So when this stuff happens, Ezekiel, I don't want you or nobody questioning why God destroying these churches and these preachers and these holy people. Why God is not a fair God. The people who are doing wickedness, He destroying them. But the people who leading the people in church, why you destroying them, God? Why all of this stuff happening? God saying, don't come question me. I show you what's going on. So when I bring my judgment, you could tell the other people why, right? In a nutshell, that's what's going on. So in 9, let's go to 9 now. It said judgment on the idolaters. This is what it's entitled, Ezekiel 9. So then I heard him call out in a loud voice, bring near those who are appointed to execute judgment on the city. This is spiritually Ezekiel still in this vision. He's still in this vision. God just showed him the wickedness they're doing, and then he showed him what I'm going to do to them. All right? So bring near, then he execute. Then I heard him call out in a loud voice, bring near those who are appointed to execute judgment on the city, each with a weapon in his hand. And I saw 6 men coming from the direction of the upper gate, which faces north, each with a deadly weapon in his hand. With them was a man clothed in linen who had a writing kit in his side, at his side. They came in and stood beside the bronze altar. So these 6 men with these deadly weapons in their hand. Then they had one other man with a writing tablet, like a little, on them board where you write, whatever it is, a writing tablet, right? So he called them in. Now the glory of the God of Israel went up from above the cherubim where it has been and moved to the threshold of the temple. Then the Lord called to the man clothed in linen who had the writing kit at his side, and said to him, go through the city of Jerusalem and put a mark on the foreheads of those who grieve and lament over all the detestable things that are done in it. So he's saying, man, when the writing kit, come forward first. You going forward first. And then y'all gonna go and do, I can give y'all order. So he tell the man with the writing kit, go and put a mark on all the people who was living right, so to speak, who was against all the wickedness that these people was doing, who was living right, who was, I know this city here is a lot of wickedness was going on. Rachel James, good morning. But they still got some people that was doing right. And I want to reward them. So you with writing kit in your hand, come and put a mark on all the people that was living right, who was against this stuff. You go ahead first. You go ahead, mark all of these people, right? This is a spiritual mark. This is going on spiritually, right? This is what I'm trying to prove to people. Stuff happens spiritually first before it happened here, right? So he tell him, go ahead and put a mark. Let me read it. Then he called out to the man clothed in linen who had the writing kit at his side and said to him, go through the city of Jerusalem and put a mark on the forehead of those who grieve and lament over all the detestable things that are done in it. As I listened, he said to the others, follow him through the city and kill without showing pity or compassion. Slaughter the old men, the young men, and the women, the mothers and children, but do not touch anyone who has the mark. Do not touch anyone who with the writing kit put a mark on, that those are the ones who's living right. Begin at my sanctuary. Begin at the church, he's saying. Begin at the church. So they began with the old men who were in front of the temple. Then he said to them, defile the temple and put and fill the court with the slain. Go. So they went out and began killing through the city. While they were killing, and I was left alone, I fell face down. Ezekiel saying, my God, what's going on here? He fell face down, crying out aloud, alas, sovereign Lord, are you going to destroy the entire remnant of Israel in your outpour of your wrath over Jerusalem? Ezekiel, you're going to destroy all of them, man? Ezekiel trying to beg for them now, right? He answered me, the sin of the people of Israel and Judah is exceedingly great. The land is full of bloodshed and the city is full of injustice. Right? The city is full of injustice. The land is full of bloodshed. They're doing a lot of wickedness, killing a lot of people wrongfully, making a lot of judgment that it should not make. They say the Lord has forsaken the land. The Lord does not see. They're saying the Lord does not see, right? So I will not look on them with pity or spare them, but I will bring down on their own heads what they have done. Then the man in linen with the writing kit at his side brought back word saying, I have done as you commanded. All right, guys. So this tells me here now, this done spiritually. He done execute this judgment spiritually. These people are dead spiritually. It's just the time when this disaster gonna come, whatever form this disaster gonna come in, whether it's in a mass shooting, a mass murder, or a hurricane, some storm, whatever it is, whatever disaster this form gonna come in, these people who with the mark is gonna be saved from it, and a whole bunch of people are gonna die, and we're gonna wonder in what go on here. We're looking at politicians to change laws. We're looking at this. We're looking at that. Yes, we need to engage in these conversations, but the bigger conversation is spiritually the things that we are doing to provoke God. You see, we don't know these things. These people with this mark don't know they got marked because they were living right. They just know they can survive this disaster. We can give him praises to God. You're going to say rightly, it's only God could bring me through that. You see, sometimes some accidents, some cars mashed up, but a person that was driving was saved. You're like, how that is possible? How it is possible? How this car is mashed up and this person walk away without a scratch? You get an insight, probably what's going on there. Right? You see some disasters happen and a whole bunch of people die and a few people get saved, and you wondering how that is possible. We were in the same building, same disaster we face. Why I walk away, God, without any scratch, and why all these people who are more holy than me die? Why? Sometimes we ask God this question. Sometimes we say he's not fair because we don't know people's heart. Like he's saying, he's showing Ezekiel what these people was doing in the darkness. In the darkness, they was doing this. When everybody got home, they in behind a little secret compartment doing the stuff. So I'm saying that to say, guys, once we are living right, once we follow what we're supposed to do, not going and put our hand to wickedness, not going, we're living right. We get this mark, guys. We cannot protect ourselves from everything that's out there. This world is a wicked world. You go in your city right now, people can die by gunshots, some accident, But we cannot be scared. We just got to follow this word and live right, and he gonna protect us. A lot of things he protecting us, some we don't even know. We don't even know, but we don't need to know about everything we protecting us from. We just know we need to live right and trust his word, right? That's what he said. Even like Psalms 23:4, one of my favorite. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. You who? God, the same spiritual God. You are with me. For your rod and your staff, they comfort me. All right? So, guys, I'm saying that's what Paul was saying. We set on the things that we can see. Not the things that we can see. It's the unseen things, the spiritual world is saying. So you live right and get a protection from the unseen world. So this form here, so that's why you see sometimes some people might go to these voodoo people and all that to get luck, do whatever spells they want to do, just like Balaam and Balak's story. Balak was bringing Balaam to put spell curses on these people. This is what's going on here. He wanted spiritually, he was using this same theory what God used here, he was trying to do it in the spiritual realm, put this curse in them spiritually, and then after a while it's going to manifest physically, right? This is the same theory he's trying to use here when he's telling Balaam to put a curse on the people. So people go to this voodoo people for get whatever they want, and the people say, "Oh, sell me one of your children, sell me the youngest one, the first boy, last boy, whatever." The spirit tell them, sell. It's like, sell them. What do you mean I got to do? Oh, no, you got to do nothing. Just repeat these little words right here. You're like, well, that's it. But there's a set time in the spiritual realm when that spirit can got total control over that person. That's what a sell means. So you're going to see John going on, your son, your cousin, some teacher, some friend, going on, just successful doing what they're doing. And all of a sudden, this person went out to the head. They start doing it. Like, what happened to John? He was a good guy. All of a sudden, he started doing these things. But that date come when the spirit can take over. You sell them, okay, the 24th of June, 2024. I got full control. It's like you're signing a contract like these athletes and all that. Oh, you hear, oh, this person signed a $100 million contract that can take effect on November 21st. So November 21st, that whatever contract they signed, whether it's 2-3 years ago or a year ago, on November 21st, 2024, that contract take effect. It's the same thing. The same thing. These stuff spiritually, just like, oh, God make this judgment here, it's going to happen right away, but in a few months, a year, 2 years, a week, whatever, this disaster going to come, but this is done happen spiritually here already, right? This disaster going to come whenever set time he set it for happen. So I'm trying to explain to people, man, we got to take this stuff seriously. And I sorry I didn't have this type of knowledge before in my growing up, man, because I make so much of mistakes, did so much of crazy stuff, don't understand the spiritual implications of what you're doing, and just got to digging yourself out of a whole bunch of holes right now spiritually. But thank God I get this knowledge. And that's why I do what I do, to give people some knowledge, educate them of what's going on, right? So guys, have a great day. But you could go back and look at this story here, Ezekiel 8 and 9, read them through and get your own revelations from them, what's going on. But let us get the spiritual mark, guys, because we don't see a lot of this stuff, but we just got to believe once we're doing the right thing, we can get the protection we need to get us through each and every day. All right, guys, have a great day. Nalini saying good morning. Thanks for checking in. Goodbye.